Hey y'all, it's Addie Ford, your host of the Cowgirl Closet Podcast, and we're back for another great episode. The Cowgirl Closet Podcast is a worldwide ranch production brought to you in part by the Stockyard Station. Make your next stop a Texas original. Explore the family-friendly shops in the Stockyard Station. Hey y'all, I'm so excited. I'm with Morgan Nicole today. She let us come to her wonderful boot room. Morgan, thank you for having us. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so glad y'all are here. This is like my humble abode. This is my happy place.
I absolutely love it. How many pairs of boots do you think you have in here?
Oh, goodness. Well, between this room and then like 4 other closets in the house and another house, we are pushing probably over 200 boots now.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Wow, I really want to be you. So, Morgan, for people who don't know you, do you want to tell them a little bit about, who you are, how you built your name, and maybe anything exciting that's coming up?
Yes. So I am a Western fashion and outdoor lifestyle content creator. So I do a lot of things in the Western space, such as fashion and rodeos, horse competitions, all of that. And then I also post my outdoor hunting and fishing lifestyle.
Your accent came out when you said that.
That's kind of like my gateway into this. So I tell people all the time, I am more of the yee than the yeehaw. But I wear the cowboy hat because it's as close as I can get. So,
so cool. So is there anything exciting coming up?
Yes, I actually have been working on several projects that Taylor Sheridan's marketing team has engaged me in, such as
That's so exciting.
Yes. Such as the Run for a Million. We just wrapped up a wonderful week in Las Vegas, and now we will be heading to Bosque Ranch Live. So that's at Taylor Sheridan's ranch in Weatherford, and it's going to be a full day of live music and shopping, spur education, cutting demos, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
So that's been going on. And then this is the first time I've said it out loud, but
we're the first to hear. So excited.
Drum roll, please. Birdie Bridal and I are doing a Morgan Nicole collection of wedding dresses.
You're joking.
Yes.
So I need to get married soon.
Yeah. Oh, and we are going to have a dress for every lady. We are going to do several collections, but there will be about 6 dresses. Different silhouettes, different price points, but of course, all centered around Western elegance and Western flair. So we are actually going to start designing in 2 days.
Morgan, that is so exciting. So are you going to be like hands-on designing it, or do you have a design team?
Oh, I am hands-on with the owner, Sybil.
That's so awesome.
Yes, her and I are going to design it from every single angle of the dresses, and even better, the dresses will be ready by December 2025.
Wow.
So all of our 2026 brides can wear a Morgan Nicole Birdie Bridal dress.
You're like really living out my dream right now. I'm so jealous.
Well, you'll be able to wear a Morgan Nicole dress, Lord willing.
Hopefully. I just need to get married soon, I guess.
That's the next task.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to have you in a Morgan Nicole dress one day.
Hey,
that'd be
if
cool.
you'll need models, I've modeled for them before.
Yes.
Remember me.
Yes,
Please.
I will. And speaking of that, we're going to have several different body types to modeling all the Morgan Nicole dresses. So everyone is going to be able to see how it looks on every body type. We're going to have so many different silhouettes too. So we want every girl to feel so beautiful and confident in a Morgan Nicole dress.
That is so exciting, seriously. But yeah, you have my number, so don't forget about me.
We're writing it down. Noted.
So you said your journey really began as a freshman at TCU, spending so much time in the Fort Worth stockyards. What was it about that season of life and that place in particular that inspired you to lean into Western fashion?
That's a wonderful question. I think it makes me sentimental thinking about it now. That year truly shaped who I was. And that year for me really just resembled writing my story. And we were talking about earlier, I am a firm believer. The Bible talks about writing your plans on a tablet. And that's exactly what I did. I wrote out physically what I wanted to do and prayed over it, but then also just believed it. Believe in your heart like it's done and it's done. And so freshman year at TCU really stretched me. I grew a lot, but
I think college really does that for everyone though, but especially like your story's so cool.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it stretched me for sure. And I was able to truly dream up what I wanted. And it was not a cakewalk and it was not easy.
Yeah.
But those moments in my little college apartment, those are the ones that shaped me.
Yeah. So when did you first, like, this is basically, I'm trying to ask, did you first like start getting boots like this in college or was it before then?
I believe I started all of the boots. I did start it in college, and actually this whole wall is Liberty Black boots.
Okay.
I'm very close with the owner, Maria, and she designs all of these with her incredible team. Yeah. They're all handmade, but I started, this collection in college, and now it has grown.
Yeah.
Into almost like a boot vault.
It's seriously awesome. I walked in and I was like, this is crazy.
Yes. Awesome. So each wall, I try to give each company their own look, but this wall right here has been the main and center, and it will continue to be.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. When you first started sharing your life online, was it intentional to become an influencer, or did it grow naturally out of your lifestyle and love for Western fashion?
So I will say in high school, I was trying to do this, but I was just sharing beauty stuff. And at that point I'd been trying for a little bit, but I'd only had maybe like 2,000 followers. And to be very honest, those 2,000 followers were probably all friends and family.
From like TCU and all the things.
And high school friends and their family. And so truly I had tried something and it wasn't it until I truly felt like the Lord had laid it on my heart that this is where I needed to be. And so when I jumped into the Western space, it was pretty off to the races, from the jump. I think it took me 1 year to get my first 100,000 followers on TikTok, but God opened doors left and right.
Yeah.
But definitely when you find what you were called to do, that story is just a testament. When you're called to do something and then you open that door, it really can take off. Yeah.
So did you grow up dressing Western or no? Did that just come with like being in TCU and all the things?
So I, being from Texas, I've rode horses growing up. I've gone to all the rodeos. I dressed in Western wear, but even from being from the Fort Worth area, I still didn't dress like this day in and day out until I got to TCU and I spent so many nights dancing
in the stockyards.
Billy Bob's. I used to be a two-step-in machine.
I love it still. I love to go dancing.
Yes. And so when I was down there in Cowtown, I really got immersed and bit by that Western bug from watching, honestly, all the older ladies dressed in true, authentic Western wear. And it was the 60 and 70-year-old ladies in Double D Ranch, who's actually a client of mine now. Okay. But the ladies in Double D and heavy, authentic, native-made jewelry, that's what sparked it for me to say, you know what? I'm going to step into this confidently and own this day in and day out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. We all know starting out isn't easy. What were some of the biggest challenges you faced early on in building your brand, and how did you push through them?
I will definitely say that organization was key. I had thought I had been pretty organized until before I knew it. I think my business grew more than I thought it did in my head until one day I was looking at like all my commitments and definitely had an error in my organization and realized, okay, I can never fail at this again. And so now I have several girls who work for me and a few assistants that help me behind the scenes of staying on track with everything, but also I'm a part 100% in every single process of my business still to this day. But when you can learn to delegate some minor tasks and delegate some things that will alleviate pressure so you can have creative freedom, that really, really helps. But I'm so fortunate for all those hard lessons that I learned.
That flows into my next question. You've mentioned the importance of grit, vision, and staying organized. Looking back, what lessons stand out the most from those early years?
I think what stands out the most is honestly the results that I've seen because I never lost myself. I think a lot of people who are on social media or maybe on a higher level of fame or celebrity status, they always talk about, oh my goodness,
I lost
myself.
Yeah.
So-and-so lost themselves. Well, I have tried to be really adamant from the jump of, okay, this is who I am. This is what I believe in. This is what I stand for. And this is the line I'm going to walk. And no matter what check comes, whatever happens, I'm going to stay true to this line and the definition of myself. And so
that's so important.
It is. And I think the biggest lessons is like, wow, thank you, Lord, that I did stay true to myself. Because now the partnerships that I have and the names I'm getting to represent, I mean, it's literally one of the biggest honors that I have. And so it shows me, wow, thank you that I did not back down. You know, I definitely let some opportunities go. I may have not been in some rooms that I could have been in, but now it's all worth it.
Yeah. So your style is instantly recognizable. Obviously, look at you. Gorgeous. It's Western, but with your own twist, I would say. How would you describe your signature look and how has it evolved over the years?
I would definitely say that turquoise jewelry and boots is the Morgan Nicole look. That's the go-to. I started off in my early years, I would practically only wear like a lariat native made turquoise necklace.
Yeah.
And of course I pulled out a big lariat today.
That's the first thing I saw whenever you walked out. I was like, oh, again with the turquoise jewelry. Like, I love it. I love it. I need to get more.
Yes.
I'm wearing gold right now, but
hey, you can never have too much turquoise. So when I think of my fashion and when I'm getting ready for the day, it often starts out, of course, with a pair of boots. But I'm looking for outfits and clothing pieces that I can wear today and then also in 20 years and still feel confident in. Yep. I talk a lot on podcasts and just on my own pages where I don't typically dive too much into trends for that sole reason of I'm wanting it to be timeless.
Yeah, and it stays true to yourself and stays authentic. And
right. And not to say I won't dabble in it here and there, but the bread and butter to my outfits are accessories and timeless clothes.
Yeah, I did not know that about you. But like thinking about it and looking at your social media now, it really does show. So I definitely think you have such a unique and awesome style.
Thank you. I try to basically have like a hidden storyline that way when you think about it, you're like, whoa, absolutely. That's so true.
Yeah. Western fashion is more than just clothes. It's heritage, tradition, and identity. How did you weave those elements into the content you create?
Now, as I have been doing this for a little bit more time, I believe I'm approaching 5 years.
Dang.
Yes. I feel like I'm starting to be way more selective, and I would hope too that when someone goes to my page, they see that I'm here for a storyline. And I try to build my whole page off of sharing other people's story. I feel like that was what God called me to do first, was bless those small business owners, and any followers after that. That was, icing on the cake. But I try to share a story for sure.
Yeah. Awesome. You built this unique mix of fashion, outdoor lifestyle, hunting, and fishing. A lot of people wouldn't think those worlds overlap, but you've made it seamless. How do you see these pieces working together in your brand?
I joke about it all the time. My mom would tell all her friends, well, I only have my daughter during the spring and summer. And they would be like, what do you mean? Y'all are together. And she's like, no, I have my daughter for spring and summer. And then my husband takes my daughter away practically for the fall months.
Yeah.
I see it weaving into the Morgan Nicole brand, honestly, seamlessly, because it's raw and it's authentic and it's truly me.
Yeah.
There was a lot of moments growing up where someone would see me and I would tell them, oh yeah, I just got back from a hunting trip, whatever. Mm-hmm. We went on a mountain lion hunt, whatever it could have been. And they would look at me based off my fashion. They'd be like, no, you didn't. I'm like,
that's the best though.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're going to walk in somewhere and, spit all these facts about hunting and fishing that typically, not gonna lie, a girl that looks like you is gonna do.
Yes.
So that's
I
really
love
cool.
the shock factor. You know, people would look at me on some days and say, wow, she would never get her hands dirty. But someone who knew me,
thank you.
yes, someone who knew me in real life, they definitely know. And like I said, I've grown up riding horses. Our family has a lot of horses. I have an honorary horse. That's a whole nother story. But all of this resembles being a cowgirl, and you don't have to ride horses every day to be considered a cowgirl. And so it's all centered around grit and resilience and staying true to yourself, but being able to get your hands dirty. So I hope to encourage younger girls growing up, whether they are a cowgirl and they ride, or if they're an avid outdoors woman, that, hey, it's okay to dress up. I used
100%,
to say, I used to say I would dress up on the weekends, and then the rest of the week I'd dress down, and I used to post pictures side by side of like
what you wore this weekend versus what you were wearing on Monday.
Yes. So I love it. I love the shock for sure.
Yeah, I think it's very you, and it's overall just so fun, especially, you know, getting people's reactions.
Yes.
From big name brands to small businesses, you've collaborated with a wide range of partners. Which collaborations have been the most meaningful to you and why?
I really have loved all of my partnerships because I've chosen them so carefully. And so I think
staying true to yourself.
Yes. Yeah. And I could definitely be confident in saying any partnership I've ever done, I've been proud of it because I took the time to get to know the business owner and to hear their story.
Yeah.
And I think some of my big projects right now I'm so honored and grateful for definitely is Bass Pro. We have a partnership going, Liberty Black Boots, Lovely Ranch, and then all of the projects Taylor Sheridan's marketing team has engaged me in. I mean, it has answered prayers.
Yeah. Social media changes fast. Trends come and go. Why do you keep your content fresh while staying authentic to who you are?
I think I always try to see what my followers are missing. And I started my business by first seeing what the pain points were, meaning pain points of what people were missing, what they were needing, what they were hoping to see. And with the algorithm changing now, I continue to look for the pain points, but I continue to show whatever I feel like is laid on my heart. It could be stuff that my friends and I are talking about, my mom and I are talking about. I try to make it as organic as possible, right? Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that's calculated in business and social media, but for me, I think I'm continuing to stick to the guns of authentic is the realest, and the things
that's what
that
people want to see.
Things that are most productive are the things that come from a true heart.
Yeah. Let's change this conversation more to like your faith and values. You've been really open about your faith and how it anchors you. Can you talk about how your relationship with God influences the way you approach your platform and partnerships?
Yes. I love to think that this is not my business. This is the Lord's business. And He is the chief operating officer. And I have the hands down here. And I have leaned into His guidance and really have built my business, I can confidently say, from the ground up based on Him, because I knew if I wanted it to go anywhere, it couldn't be mine. And I have tried to show the Lord's glory through it all, but through the process, you know, I'm praying before phone calls. I am praying before photo shoots. There's thousands of images out there where I'm praying while the photos are being taken.
Yeah.
And during big show weeks like WESA and big trade markets and all of that, I'm praying over my clients, whether I tell them I am or I'm not. I'm praying for their strength, but sales growth, and that their team has an energy and light that beats out the other showrooms. So I really integrate the Lord in as much as I can now, not to say I'm doing everything perfectly, because there's moments where my husband and I are like, whoa, okay, should have prayed about that a little more. But but I truly try to look at it through an eternal lens.
Yeah.
And for myself, with the followers, I don't have some buku number, but it's significant. Yeah. And I try to keep the mindset of, if all of this washed away and I had to wake up tomorrow with none of it, how would I feel? And I have to feel just as confident as I do with everything right now.
Yeah.
And when the Lord puts it on your heart that, you know, you're here to bless these business owners, it's way more than just the followers. And now I am able to share my faith and
your testimony,
everything.
All the things.
Yeah, even with my followers. And that has been a huge blessing in itself.
I think that's huge too, because, you know, God puts us on this planet for a reason, and that is to share him to anyone you can. So I think that's really amazing that you use your platform and your own followers to do that.
Yes. I think that I don't just think, I know that I'm not myself if I'm not working, and to know that God has called me to be a business owner, but he's also called me to be a loving wife and one day an incredible mom.
Yeah.
But it all has a common thread. And, you know, you're going to have ups and downs, especially in the world of social media. And I think I've been able to ride those waves because they've come. I've had highs and I've had really bad lows. And I've been able to ride the waves a lot better when I'm standing with him.
Yeah. Okay, seriously, every sentence you say, you just get better and better. Like, we just be best friends already.
Done deal. We're besties.
Being an influencer means your life is on display. How do you stay true to yourself and protect your own values in a world that can sometimes push you in a different direction?
I think I have to find the balance of when to turn it on and when to turn it off, or what to share and what not to share. I've come on my Instagram stories crying. I've come on, of course, happy.
I think all that is good too, because I mean, that kind of goes into my next question, so I'll get there. But
yes, I try to come on there in so many different forms myself, because that's real life.
Yeah.
But also there's certain moments where I tell myself, okay, either we're not going to share this or we're not going to share it right now, because going along the line of being authentic doesn't mean that we necessarily get to hold back certain things, right? There's a privacy level.
Yeah.
But for instance, my wedding, I got married in March, and I don't think I've shared more than 3 posts. Yeah. And I'm talking bare minimum.
I noticed that because I stalked you.
Yes. And honestly, it has been so sweet to do that.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a moment for you and your husband and your close friends and family.
Yes. I've shared my whole life online, and all of that wedding content, it is coming, and it's coming soon. But knowing the time and the place, and I've really leaned into discernment a lot too of, okay, Lord, when it's your time for me to share something, I will. And it's funny because there'll be days where I'll wake up, let's say it's a Tuesday, and I feel it heavy on my heart to share something. And then for some reason, a few hours go by, I'm like, nope. Today's not the day. Today's not the day. And then Thursday or Friday comes, and man, it is 10 times better than what I would have said on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show you will stay authentic to yourself when you lean into discernment on when.
Yeah. A lot of young women look up to you. I'm older than you, but even I look up to you. Not just for your style, but for how you carry yourself. What does that responsibility feel like, and what do you hope they take away from following your journey?
That one hit me.
I know you're tearing up. I'm about to cry too.
In my eyes.
Wait, no, I'm actually gonna cry.
Yeah, me too.
I cry if somebody else cries.
Yes. To me, every day looks like this, right? I'm behind a screen, and I do know that I'm talking to real people, but there's certain moments where it hits me the impact. To me, the weight, it's heavy, but also the burden's light, if you know what I mean. And I am so honored that these little girls get to look up to me. And my best friend, she had a baby a year and a half ago. And obviously she's little, but one day Lord willing, she'll look up to me, and it's special.
Yeah.
Because I see the women who have shaped my life, and I know the impact that they've had on me. I would not be myself without these other women in my life. And the fact that I'll get to be one of those for other people, like, I could cry like a baby.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
You're going to really like the new Fort Worth Stockyards app. It's everything you need right at your fingertips. See what's happening in real time, which means you'll never miss another cattle drive, happy hour, sidewalk sale, or your favorite band again. You can also use the app to buy show tickets, pay for parking, reserve a table, and even book a room. So saddle up, y'all. It's free, it's fun, it's the Stockyards. Download the app today at the Apple Store or Google Play.
So, Morgan, you've been in this industry for about 4.5 years now, and you've already built something so impressive, obviously. When you think about the next chapter, what do you see? Where do you see Morgan Nicole to be in 5 years from now?
I was just sharing this with a friend yesterday at lunch. I see myself in 5 years or less drawing back on the quantity of who I'm working with still delivering not just the same level of quality, but 10 times better, Lord willing. And so I see myself with several different Morgan Nicole collections through all my trusted favorite brands, such as Birdie Bridal. You know, we're starting that. So that was just huge for us this morning. And I see myself continuing to bring my followers along the ride of my life. And by that time, probably we'll have a kid or two in the mix.
Yeah.
I'm already planning my NFR photo shoot when I have a kid.
Can I be there?
Yeah. We need all, because they're going to need a focus for the shot.
Exactly.
I'm like, okay, I love Sonic, love Dr. Pepper. We did an NFR shoot at Sonic last year. Like, okay, with a kid, we're going to need a Shetland pony. They're going to need to be on the pony.
Yes, all the things.
So just bringing them along the ride.
Yeah. Well, that kind of brings me on to, my next question. Are there any dream collaborations that you really, or brands that you really see yourself in praying to work with in the future?
I would have to say, it's such a good question, but I'd have to say right now, these are the days. And I think I'm so focused on what God has blessed me with right now that it's time for me in a few short months. It's time for me to write the names out again.
Yeah.
But some of those names that I have had on my vision board, they're here.
Yep.
So I can't wait for the next podcast, and I'll definitely have some new ones.
Okay, perfect. I'm so excited already.
You stumped me there.
I'm so excited. Okay, so beyond fashion, do you see yourself expanding into other areas? Maybe, your own brand besides the brand that you built yourself, of course. A product line. We've been kind of talking about that a little bit. Or even mentorship for young creators.
Currently, I am actually doing some consulting behind the scenes. So I do have several girls who are up and coming, and let me tell you, they are going to take this world by storm. But right now I'm doing consulting for some businesses and some influencers. So that's always happening. And I am seeing more lifestyle partnerships. I'm currently doing something with Cattleman's Interiors for some home furniture.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see how that progresses and what that leads into. We even did a partnership on our home with our builder. And so
that's amazing.
I'm trying to really grasp everything in my day-to-day life, trying to grasp that and pull it into my future partnerships. But I would say Ford, I would love to partner with. Been a big Ford girl.
Really? We know that's my last name, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's always like,
do you own Ford?
Yes. And no, we don't own it. And actually, we don't own a Ford. My dad works at a Chevy dealership. I know. My dad works at a Chevy dealership. So all of our vehicles are Chevy.
Oh my goodness.
I know. And his name's Rusty Ford. It's hilarious. It's great. But I always love getting the Ford Bronco t-shirts and stuff.
You're
just real
this
fitting.
Is mine.
Exactly. So for someone listening who has a passion, whether it's fashion, the outdoors, or anything creative, but feels scared to put themselves out there, what advice would you, Morgan Nicole, give them?
I would tell them to get out a sheet of printer paper and a pencil, and I would literally write out 2 to 3 sentences of who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And I would write out who you are and then write out a few bullet points of who you want to evolve to be and where you want to go. And I would pray over it. I'd go to a friend. I'd go to someone trusted, and I would ask them to hold you accountable. Yeah. And that's literally what I did. I had one friend who was with me actually when I got my first paid brand deal. And from that day till now, she's like an accountability, not on payroll, accountability, like personnel. Yeah. She's like, no, Morgan, you told me almost 5 years ago that you were going to be here. You know, yes, you might be feeling down, but like, you're not going to stay down. Let's get up. And so
that's a good friend right there.
It is. So I would encourage anyone who is wanting to step into the space in any field, write it down, pray over it, and find some accountability partners and find someone who believes in what you wrote down. Yeah. Because there's going to be moments where you don't believe it's on the paper, but someone else has to believe it and say, you know what? You don't believe it right now, but I'm grabbing your hand. I'm yanking you in the direction until you can see it for yourself.
You worded that so perfectly.
Said it a time or two.
So we've talked a lot about resilience. What does resilience look like for you day to day? And how do you keep going when things get tough?
I think in those moments, I have to continue to be realistic with myself. If I always was trying to steamroll over things and honestly always think positive, I wouldn't be able to get through it. Yeah. I think there's a fine line of feeling when something bad happens. You have to feel it, but then you got to get out of it.
Yeah.
And
I needed to hear that right now.
Let me tell you something hilarious. In high school, when I broke up with my high school boyfriend, and I would be crying or I'd have a really hard moment, I'd go in the shower and I'd tell myself, okay, I'll cry in the shower, but when I turn the water off, I'm done. And I have to move on with my day. And I use that principle to this day. There's a time and a place. Yeah. Turn it on and then turn it off. Yeah.
Mine's in the car.
The car? I love that. My truck is my safe place. It truly is. Yeah. I'll spend hours in there a day. But resilience and grit, to me, that means I'm going to acknowledge that this happened, but I'm not choosing to identify with it. I'm not choosing to believe the lie or the pity party. And then I have to realign myself with what the word says about me and then pick myself back up. Yeah. You got to turn the water off. You got to say, okay, I'm going to put my big girl boots on. Yeah. And I'm going to go after it. Yeah. So I think I kind of have like this inner vengeance. I'm like, no, I have people to see, money to make, and things to do. Yeah. Like I can't let this little thing get me down.
Yeah, 100%. So kind of changing the subject just a little bit. I only have a couple more questions to ask you, but I kind of want to make them fun. Is there a social media moment that was embarrassing or maybe a funny story about you that like you want or can share? Kind of just like to be more real, I guess.
Oh yeah. Girl, I thought I was going to take this story to the grave. Like, I literally told myself, I don't even think I told my mom. Yeah. I was like, there's something that's happened to me. I'm taking it to the grave and no one will ever know. But here it goes. So I was at Westwood Trade Show and this was my first year. Yeah. I am moving and shaking. I am going left and right. I'm hustling in between booths. I have a tank top on, but I'm changing my shirt, handshakes here, there, phones out, whatever. Yeah. I am moving so fast and I was late to my next appointment. Yeah. But I was in the booth and I had just put like my t-shirt on and I went to grab my hat and I threw it on. I said, thank you so much for having me, have a blessed day, whatever. And I walked out. When I was walking out, I was getting some funny looks. And
oh gosh. This is kind of like a fashion
this
moment
is a fashion,
too.
Yeah, this is a fashion no-no. Well, I had my hat on backwards, but, people make fun of people having their hat on backwards all the time. No, this wasn't like, oh, she couldn't tell between the front and the back of the brim, whatever. I had my American hat patches on, my turkey feather. I typically always have a feather in my hat, and it was backwards because I had rushed so fast. I threw my hat on until a sweet gentleman said, "Honey, your hat's on backwards." And he didn't stop to get my reaction. He told me and left.
Cowboy, that's a good man right there.
But there was one influencer who saw me, and I don't remember her name, but if I saw her face, I would be like, yeah. But that's the story. I thought I was taken to the grave, but feels good to get off my chest.
Okay, well, that's not horrible. At least you didn't post I don't know, something crazy.
Yeah.
It's okay. That happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
So in that case too, if you ever see me at a rodeo or something, I'm walking. If I'm walking around and you ever see me go like this on the back of my hat,
it's because you're checking.
I'm feeling my patches.
And you're okay.
Yeah, because it's
it's a fear now.
It's like PTSD. I'm like, oh my goodness. Or I might act like I'm checking my lipstick. I could care less about my lipstick.
You're I'm actually just making sure. Yeah, that's actually smart.
That hilarious?
Sure. That is so funny. But honestly, it's something I would so do. That would be an Addie Ford whoopsie moment. So I'm sure so many people have done that too. So it's not just you. So Morgan, this has been such a fun conversation. But before we wrap up, is there anything else you want to touch on? Maybe say to people who are listening, or if there's anything that we left out that you really just want to say.
I would say definitely keep up with everything happening on my Instagram. We are pulling out all the stops. There's so much coming to close the end of the year and so much already in the works for next year. But this is a pivotal point in my life, and I want my followers to be a part of every single moment. So stay tuned, especially look out for the Morgan Nicole collection with Birdie Bridal.
So finally, on that note, where can people, who aren't following you or watching this podcast, who want to follow along on your journey, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram and TikTok. It's 2 underscores and then Morgan Nicole.
Awesome. Well, Morgan, again, thank you so much for having us here in your boot room. Like I said, it's amazing. I'm so jealous. I'm praying, that God keeps building you and your brand up from here. And it was so nice to get to, know you and talk to you and experience you on a more deeper level. So,
well, thank you for having me. It was so fun today.
Yeah, absolutely. It's time for Addie's favorite trends of the week. So starting off strong, I actually wanted to pull Miss Morgan to start off my favorite trends of the week. I thought it would be fitting, and she always has amazing style. So she just sent me this picture. She is at a run for $1 million, I believe, and she is wearing all double D. So starting off for the hat, it's just a large white cowboy hat. The top is a blue denim button-up shirt with floral details. The vest is a brown suede vest with Western designs. It looks like there's eagles, cactuses, and other patterns. For the pants, she's wearing blue denim jeans with a wide leg style. And then for the accessories, she's wearing a so-called belt, but it's actually just a necklace that she tied around and made it look like a belt. I think that's so cute, so different. And, whatever you got to do to make things work. And then she's wearing earrings and an event pass hanging around her neck because of the event that she was at. So overall, Morgan is so known for her style and how good it is. So there's obviously no corrections I need to make on this, except for the fact that I'm going to be stealing this inspiration to wear this to one of my events that I might be going to. So yeah, overall, Morgan, you're beautiful. Keep it up, girl. Next, I pulled this for inspiration actually this weekend. I'm going to an event in the Stockyards, and I wanted to try and switch up my style just a little bit. This outfit overall is pretty simple, but I really like it. So for the top, it's just a sleeveless denim vest with the V neckline. Looks like it buttons up in the front. For the bottom, it's just a short, flowy white skirt with layered ruffles. You could probably find that anywhere, honestly. I might even have one already. For the shoes, she's just wearing bright red cowboy boots that stand out as the bold statement piece of this whole entire outfit. And she paired that with a black and white hat with red lettering on it. I can't really tell what it says, but it is a trucker style hat. So I think, the hat makes it more daytime, casual. And I really love how she paired the red boots with the red lettering on her trucker hat. So basically for this outfit, like I always say, I would just add more jewelry to really spice it up a little bit, but I do like this outfit a lot. And lastly, I actually follow this influencer on social media. She's not from Texas, but I saw that, she styled this outfit as more of a Western style, and she never really does that. So I wanted to pull this and go over, this whole entire picture. It's super cute. So for the headwear, she's wearing a bright red bandana tied around the head, styled in a classic Western cowgirl look. I'm guessing this was for a photo shoot. Kind of what it looks like. This outfit overall is pretty simple, but I really, really like it. Again, just adding more jewelry, but we'll get into that. So the top is just a white sleeveless crop top tank top with thin straps. It's knotted at the waist for a fitted look. The front has red text and a small black graphic, giving it a vintage rodeo-inspired look. I love like graphic tank tops that are Western. I need to get more. Honestly, they're so cute, and you can style them up or down. That's a really good statement piece to have. And for the bottoms, just high-waisted black pants, form-fitting and sleek, tucked slightly into the saddle for a riding-ready style because she's sitting on a horse. And then for the accessories, she's just wearing a thin bracelet and a few rings on the right hand, adding a touch of casual chic. I would have added more turquoise jewelry to this, unless you wanted to go more of the gold route. But I think since this is like a more plain and basic outfit, if you were trying to push it more Western, I would have added a super chunky, long turquoise necklace with probably a huge turquoise ring. So overall, I really like this outfit as well. If you would like your outfit reviewed and posted on this podcast, or overall just want advice from me or a community of Western fashion loving girls, make sure you go to our Reddit. It's r/the Cowgirl Closet to join this wonderful community of Western fashion loving girls. Morgan, thank you so much for allowing us to come and view your beautiful boot room and giving us the time to sit down and chat with you, and letting not only us, but everyone else who's watching get to know a little bit about you, what inspires you, and a little bit about who you are. This has been another great episode of the Cowgirl Closet Podcast, a worldwide ranch production brought to you in part by the Stockyard Station. From Western goods and vintage finds to family-friendly attractions, Stockyard Station is your place to experience the charm of the West at its best. Next stop, Stockyard Station, a Texas original. And until next time, I'm your host, Addie Ford, and I will see you where the ranch meets the runway.